Hello, welcome to City Hall this week. Here's a heads up this summer for residents living near the National Guard Armory on Stadium Drive. You may hear what sounds like gunfire and explosions and may see what looks like real smoke, but these are simulations and are not real. On July 13th, Durham County Emergency Medical Services and local law enforcement began active shooter response training. This training will continue on August 16th, 19th, and 31st. As part of the exercises, the agencies are conducting various active shooter response training scenarios using role players, mannequins, and training props, including simulated weapons. The training will be held from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. each day, and the area will be closed to the public during this time. If your flood insurance rates may be affected by FEMA's recently revised floodplain mapping, you should mark your calendar now. The city and county will hold a public meeting on Thursday, July 28th to help property owners better understand the changes. The meeting will be held from 5 until 7 p.m. at the Durham County Human Services Building at 414 East Main Street. FEMA's mapped floodplain was changed based on studies of approximately half of the flooding sources, such as streams and rivers, throughout Durham. Approximately 146 buildings have been added and another 271 buildings have been removed from the mapped floodplain. If you believe your property was inaccurately assessed, you have until October 3rd to appeal to FEMA. This year's drinking water quality report for Durham shows the city had no violations of any water quality standards in 2015. This year's report, called Cool, Clear Water, provides information about the quality of Durham's drinking water and explains how the water is treated and delivered. The report is now available on the city's website. Big improvements are on the way for Indian Trail Park, and the city wants to hear what you have to say about the plan changes. A public meeting was held on July 19th for residents to share their preferences for the new playground and to learn about how the area's floodplains and wetlands affect the park. If you weren't able to attend the meeting, you can still send an email to michelle.berger@durhamnc.gov. Durham Parks and Recreation will review all the information gathered and design the playground based on the input received. The new playground is set to be installed by early next year. Speaking of Durham Parks and Recreation, questions about volunteering come up quite frequently, so we wanted to try to answer as many of those as we can. The most common question the department gets on this topic is whether they even need volunteers.
Yes, we can always use volunteers. As a matter of fact, they play a vital role in the services that we give to Durham residents.
How old do you need to be a volunteer?
You need to be at least 14 with an adult. And if you're over 16, you don't need an adult, but some positions may require a background check.
What do volunteers do?
Volunteer opportunities fall into 5 different categories: internships, tutor or mentors, adopting a park or trail, specialized events, and specialized services such as coaches or referees.
What is the benefit of volunteering?
We'll be helping Durham Parks and Recreation connect our whole community to wellness, to outdoors, and lifelong learning.
How can I get involved?
You can get involved by going to www.dprplaymore.org, calling 919-560-4355.
You can also email dprvolunteers@durhamnc.gov. That does it for City Hall this week. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find us on demand on Durham Television Network's webpage and on YouTube. Thank you for joining us.